There are three methods to load instrument approach procedures into the G1000. The first method is to enter the instrument approach procedures onto the primary flight display, or PFD. Click the procedure soft key, denoted by the letters PROC, located on the lower right border of the PFD. The procedures menu will appear in the lower right corner of the PFD. Using the Flight Management System, or FMS knob, enter the ICAO identifier of the airport where the approach will be conducted. The outer knob moves the cursor from left to right, and the inner knob changes the letters. Once the ICAO identifier for the airport is entered, turn the outer FMS knob clockwise to begin selecting the approach. To select the desired approach, turn the inner FMS knob until the appropriate approach name is displayed. Then, twist the outer knob clockwise to select the approach transition. To select the transition type, use the inner FMS knob. If air traffic control is vectoring you onto the approach, select the vectors transition. If you were told by ATC to begin the approach at an initial approach fix or other starting point, select the appropriate transition based on the instrument approach procedure at ATC clearance. Next, turn the outer FMS knob clockwise to enter the approach minimums. By default, the approach minimums are set to off. Turning the inner FMS knob clockwise will change the minimums to be based on the current barometric pressure, denoted as BARO, or temperature compensation, denoted as temp comp. Select baro for the minimums, and turn the outer FMS knob clockwise to input the minimums found on the instrument approach procedure. Be sure to confirm the appropriate minimum altitude is correct based on the approach category, navigation equipment, and if conducting a circling approach. Finally, turn the outer FMS knob clockwise to load or activate the approach. Turn the inner FMS knob to select either Activate Approach or Load Approach. The Activate Approach option will immediately input the approach, and the necessary navigation equipment will be activated and displayed on the PFD. If the Load option is selected, the approach will be loaded and added to the end of the flight plan if a flight plan was already input, or have the approach on standby until the pilot activates it. Then, press the Enter soft key, denoted by the letters ENT on the lower right edge of the PFD to complete loading or activating the approach. To activate a loaded approach, press the Procedures soft key and use the outer FMS knob to select Activate Approach or Activate Vector to Final option based on the air traffic control clearance. Then, press the Enter soft key to complete activating the approach. Another method of inputting an instrument approach procedure on the G1000 is using the nearest airport soft key, denoted by the letters NSRT, and located in the lower right border of the PFD. Note, this method only works if the airport where the instrument approach will take place is nearby. After clicking the NRST soft key, the nearest airports menu will appear in the lower right corner of the PFD. By turning the outer FMS knob clockwise, the cursor will move down the list of nearby airports. Once the cursor is on the airport ICAO identifier where the instrument approach will occur, push the Direct to Soft key, denoted by the letter D and an arrow, located on the lower right border of the PFD. This will give you GPS guidance to the airport. Only follow the new GPS path if air traffic control gives specific clearance. Now press the Procedure soft key and follow the same steps from earlier in the video to input the appropriate instrument approach and all the criteria. The last method of inputting an instrument approach procedure into the G1000 is to use the Multifunction Display, or MFD. Just like the first method, press the Procedures button, this time located on the lower right border of the MFD. Using the inner and outer FMS knobs, the pilot can input all the necessary information, such as airport ICAO identifier, the desired approach, transition type, minimums, and load or activate the approach. Using the MFD allows the pilot to view the flight plan of the instrument approach procedure on the MFD to review and prepare to fly the approach. Be sure to like our video and subscribe for more epic content. And while you're here, check out some of our more recent videos and playlists.